banging misses and videos. While I'm with my freak like we up in the freak shows. Hit you with this shit, make you feel it all in your toes. Hot shh, got all my people in red clothes. Telling my metaphors when I formulate my flows. If you don't know, you're messing with lyrical player pros like that.
Wanna party with me?
Hey, good morning to everyone. We thank y'all for tuning in to our Saturday morning edition of the Walking This Ways Impact Wars podcast. I do apologize for a late start this morning, but of course, the show still goes on because I know the audience, J1, are expecting a great conversation. I know they are expecting some great, we want to say, probably wisdom, something they need to hear on point, something that's very, very important, of course, in my own opinion. But we don't want to leave them waiting, of course. But I do apologize on my part for a very, very late start. But I thank you once again. So, Chassie, how are you doing this morning? We know it's Saturday. We know it is Father's Day weekend, of course. So, big shout out to all the fathers out there in the world who's been down with their family since day one. The real father. I'm not talking about sperm donors. I'm talking about the real father. Also, happy Father's Day to the stepfathers as well, who actually stepped in and take care of children that's not biologically theirs. And that's another thing, Jay, when we never acknowledge those who actually stepped in and are raising children. Of course, you have some children who are adopted. You have people who are guardians, of course, but I want to give a big shout out to the dads who's, being there for their family, leading their family. So we don't want to forget about them. So happy Father's Day weekend to everyone. So Chaz, how are you doing this morning?
I am great. And again, happy Father's Day weekend. Big ups to all the fathers who are father figures who may not have kids. Big shout out to you all. But I'm doing good. It's a good start to the weekend. It's hot, but that's okay. It's a good weekend this weekend. How are you doing this weekend?
I mean, I'm doing great. Like I said, it is another day. We thank God for another day. We know that it is hot. We know it's nice out, sunny, and we know it is, like I said, it is Father's Day weekend. Of course, we know I know people got things planned for their fathers, taking their dads out to dinner, putting some meat on the grill. Got something. Just show your dad the appreciation for being there for you. Get on your behind when you need to get on your behind, but also be very thankful for how him, of course, your mom, of course, but most importantly, how your dad raised you, instilling you the wisdom in order to carry on with life. That's what it's all about. But I'm very excited about this morning's topic, J1, about structure, having a structured lifestyle. And we know that structure is important. We know we need structure. And we know that structure would take us a mighty long way. We know that we are already in the 6th month of 2024. This year's almost over. We have to ask ourselves, are we satisfied where we at? Or are we just still in that run that we was the beginning of 2024? A lot of times, J1, we all been there before. We know when December 31st, January 1st rolled around, we get excited. This is my year. This is my year. This is my year. This is my year. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. But then we lose that momentum. We lose that insight. We lose that killing instinct to the thing we set out to do. We want to accomplish these things, but some along the way, we lose focus of that. We lose insight. We more focus more on. I'm not saying being selfish is cool. I'm just saying. But a lot of times, J1, we all been there before. Well, we'll lose ourselves in the shuffle, but then we'll start more focused on someone else's dream. We'll focus on somebody else's goals, and we'll lose ourselves in the process. But then when we lose ourselves, we'll lose not being happy, not being fulfilling in life. God, when God created us, God didn't create us to be a waste. He didn't create us to be losers. He didn't create us to be victims, because he created us to be winners. He created us to be high achievers. Even the scriptures tell us that we're more than conquerors. When I think about that, we're more than conquerors. So it's all about creating our lives. What you want to say about that, J1?
Of course, I agree with everything. Or like you said, like we are more than conquerors. But it all comes down to that structure. We can create, like you always say, the lifestyle that we want to live, and we do. When we start off in January 1st, just like New Year's, got a New Year's resolution. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. This is my year. And then about March be like we in a tussle with the year. This probably ain't my year. I'm gonna try again next year. But that always happens when you're on the right track, when you're on the right path. As they would say, when that blessing is right there on the other side of the door, and all you gotta do is knock and open it, or you just. But trouble always gonna be right behind you, or discouragement, and you cannot let that cloud your vision. Once you have a vision, you have to stick with it, and that's one of the major things that a lot of people um, begin to come in contact with, and it causes that failure into what they was trying to do, is because they don't stick with it when things get hard. Things are going to get hard. If you want to start that business, but please realize within that first year, maybe even the first 2 and 3 years, you're probably going to not make the money that you think that you're going to make. And matter of fact, you may be in more debt than what you started off with. But if you just hold on and you keep going, and you keep building and building and building, because of course you have to have that foundation, but you got to have a strong foundation. You can't just go in and put the roof on top, because there's no foundation to put the roof on. So you got to start from the bottom. You got to lay that concrete down first. You got to lay them slabs down first, and then start gradually building at the end. Put your roof on top, and you can live comfortably in your home. But there is a structure that you have to build. And yes, it gets hard. By no means it is not easy. It's not easy at all. And whatever you're trying to do, it's not going to be an easy route. You're going to have long nights. You're going to have sleepless nights. You're going to have long mornings. You're going to have aggravated mornings. You're going to have long weeks. You might have a long year. It's time, especially at the end, when you put that roof on and you can walk into your structure. Oh, all of that was worth it. All of that was worth that building, that labor that you had to put into it. Because what is it? What the word say? Faith without works is
Worse is
dead.
dead.
You
And that's
got
it.
to
Faith
put
without.
in the work.
You got to. And regardless, you got to put in work. And also, you said it's something very compound too. It's the patience.
Yes.
Everything takes time. Just like with me, I just started getting into buying stock. I had bought me some stock the other day. So I'm getting more into that. But it takes time
Yes.
for your money to grow. People think it's not overnight. Now, if you get something overnight, then it's not gonna last long.
Hmm.
But it just takes patience. It's just like when you're going out to plant. When you go out to plant, you plant the seed in good ground, good soil. Of course, you have to nurse it, water it,
Yes.
everything else. If you don't do it, it's not gonna grow. But you
That's right.
have to keep feeding and nourishing it, and eventually it will grow. And that's what the thing, the patience, how God set everything up. Everything's not so instant gratification. And we're in this society now, saying it's that microwave generation.
Yeah,
Everything wants
microwave.
something so instant, but it takes time. It takes time for you to start a business. I think that some people's business don't boom to like probably after the fifth year per se,
Yep.
on how
Yep.
long it be. But the thing about it is you stay within that race, you stay within that
Yep.
course. And we know that the real battle, J1, is within us. It's the battle within us. Because think about it, if we're not careful, that ego will come in and we
Yes.
could talk ourselves out of things. Just
That's
like,
right.
for example, when I made this transition from Mobile, Alabama to Dallas, Texas, a lot of stuff went through my mind. Oh, I got to do a long drive. Oh, I got to move. Oh, I got see all this stuff goes
Yes.
into our mind, but it's either we gonna feed into it or it's just still press our way on. And that
Yes.
stuff was going through my mind like, oh man, I gotta drive this. Oh, I gotta find a place. Oh, I gotta do this. I gotta pack this. But it's just the real battle of still going through the process. I could have
Yes.
gave in and say, what, I'm not even gonna worry about it. It is what it is. But
Yes.
I have to defeat myself. I had to get out my own way, defeat the
Yes.
ego, and move forward into the things that I want to. I set my mind to accomplish. And a lot of times, J1, it don't be the outside noise. It be the inside noise
inside.
that we could talk ourselves out of things
That's right.
because of, oh, I'm afraid. I never did this before. Or what if it
Yes,
don't happen? And then we'll talk ourselves out of these things
yes,
until we never realize what we could have accomplished if we just say, you know what, I'm blocking out that ego and
that's
I'm
right.
still gonna move forward. What you want to say
That's
about
right.
this? Especially when you stepped out from the business. Well, when I say corporate America, of
Yes,
course, to
yes.
transition to entrepreneurship. What was going through at your mind when you made that transition from, okay, I'm punching somebody's time clock, to the challenge is now I'm my own boss while I'm clocking in my own time clock. How that was that transition from you, and how was it, blocking that ego when it's, oh, this is too tough, or how did you overcome all that? How you overcome that inner noise that really wants to just uh cave in.
Listen, the inner North still be talking to this day, but I just keep it going. I keep it going because one thing about it, I wrote this down. I wrote my vision down. I prayed about this, and when God was just like, you got to let it go. You got to quit, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gone. I'm done. I got to do this. I got to. And you know what? Honestly, I'm a runner. I'm a runner. And when I say I'm a runner, is when things get hard or when things get too complicated and I just can't handle it, I am a runner. I run away from things and I don't look back. But with this, yes, my business, it gets hard at times. It gets complicated. It gets frustrating. But let me tell you something. So, and I look at the way God positioned me. So, of course, I started in corrections. Well, I originally started in retail at like the age of 17, right? I was working in a small retail store and while I was in school. So then, of course, I went off to college, and then I started working at Walmart. And after Walmart, I started working as a correction officer at the Mobile County Metro Jail. Once I started there, at first I started off as this happy-go-lucky person. I used to write scriptures, right, or like little positive quotes on the board. And I don't know if you know, but I would have people that would come in there and erase it off the board and tell me I'm too happy. Now this is going somewhere. People would tell me I was too happy, right? And I'm just like, how could people be so mean? Like, how you mad because I'm happy? Because I'm a happy person, right? And I didn't let them damper too much on my light. Now, my light did get a little dim, but it ain't never go out. So it's just like, my personality started to change. I started to get more angry. And like, I really did not care for people. I'm going to tell you something. I was not a people's person after I left that jail. I did not like dealing with people at all. I was so irritated with people. I didn't like crowds. None of that, right? That I just did not like it. Now, mind you, before I started at the jail, God gave me that I wanted to start a t-shirt business. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to start a t-shirt business plan, everything set out. I was in school for business administration, everything, because I want to learn the ins and outs of the business before I start.
Right.
I even had a man tell me I would be a fool if I did not open up my business, and I was a fool for a while. So shout out to him. But then, God placed me in a position. I was working down at the RSA Tower downtown, and I was doing security. Well, at first I started off in the office, so I was doing like basically admin work. I was a lieutenant, and I still wasn't dealing with people because I mostly stayed in the office and I worked overnight. So I still wasn't dealing with people, but I was over a shift. So, I had people up under me that I had to deal with, right? So then, I left there and I went to another little job for like 2 weeks and I came back. But when I came back, the lieutenant position wasn't open. So I had to start off as an officer. But when I started off as an officer, God placed me in a position where I had to deal with people every day, Monday through Friday, between 8 to 4, I dealt with people. And at first, I did not want to deal with people, so I put on face. I could have been an actress. I would act all day long. So I had to pretend, like I wanted to just deal with people. I'm like, hi, good morning. How are you? Da, 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 da. It was so annoying, so draining because, remind you, coming from the metro, I didn't like dealing with people. I just, So I'm just like, now I'm in the morning, I'm dealing with people. I have to deal with, high-end clients, the mayor coming in, potential presidential candidates coming in, and I have to talk to these people. I'm talking about top flight. I'm dealing with, security, like high end security. So I'm just like, I got to snap out of this. I got to get back to dealing with people. God set me there for 2 years. He sat me there for 2 years. And I kept on saying, like, God, I know you're not going to see me here for no $12 an hour. I can't do this. So this is not, I got to deal with these people mentally, and I got to sit here for $12 an hour. Oh, this ain't my place, But I was just like, I said, you know what? God, you're doing something. You're doing something. So I kept sitting there, I waited, and it started getting back to a routine. I got back to my light being back on. People would literally stay in line. It's two people that's now. They would get in line just to deal with me. And I'm like, you got somebody else over here. You don't want to deal with them? But no, they come to me, and it was like they kept drawing, like, hi, like people come in just, hi, good morning, Chase. I'm like, good morning, how are you? And people would actually come and bring me gifts and flowers just because. Mother's Day, I would get gifts just because. Christmas gifts, and I'm just like, people are drawing back to me. I'm drawing back to people, and then the guy said, okay, now it's time, and I'm like, what I'm doing? I'm comfortable now. I'm in the city. I'm good. And God, no. I set you there for a reason, for you to get back to dealing with people, because now that business that I gave to you over 10 years ago is coming back. It's now back. So I had to get back into it, right? And I was just like, I ain't got no money to be talking about some, you finna quit your job. I ain't got nothing saved up. I ain't gonna lie to you, nothing saved up in no bank. I started off doing vinyl shirts, so I'm just like, and I'm charging $10. I'm gonna tell you something. The only profit I was making off of those shirts at the time was maybe like $4. And I was just like, God, I don't know, if I'm ready just yet. Let me tell you something. One thing about it, God ain't on your time. And when it's time, he don't care nothing about it. You ready, you ready. You ready, you ready. It is what it is. So God was just like, hey, you gotta go. And so I went. I left. And a lot of people look at me like, that's crazy. Why would you do that? Oh, she left a job where she guaranteed money. They just went over to a new company. They're getting paid now $15, $16, $17 an hour to sit there and do nothing. But God said, this ain't your place. You've been here for the time you're supposed to be here. And even though I hear the naysayers in my ear, oh, you ain't gonna make no money. You ain't this and this and that. And it's a lot. Everybody's doing it. I hear that all the time. Everybody's doing it. You should go back into security. That's your full background in security. You should. I had to block the outer people and also the inner people, because I'm one of those people. I'm sensitive. I hear what people are saying. I intake what people say about me. So when people said I wasn't gonna make it, I was gonna fail, to myself I said I was gonna fail. But let me tell you something. I serve a big God. Once I started getting into prayer with him, them outer voices, them inner voices, they went all out the door. All I can hear is God talking to me. And then I started establishing myself in Mobile, right? People I don't know coming to me, and just people speaking my names in rooms I ain't never been in. They're coming to me to make their search, and they could go to somebody else. They could go to such and such. They can go on Amazon, but they chose to come to me. And then here's another thing. God is just so amazing. So I've been building my stuff in Mobile, right? Mind you, before I got pregnant with my son back in 2017, I was going to move to Tennessee. I wanted to move to Memphis. I was going to live with my husband's, he was my boyfriend at the time, but his mom, and I was going to get myself together, right? When I found out I was pregnant, I said, no, I want to stay here with my mom. I want my son and my nephew to grow up together, whatever. So recently, God said, you got to go. Hold on, God, I just built my business here. My husband just got a good job. What you mean where am I going? So recently, and I hope this helps somebody. So recently we sold our house. We actually just sold our house. We'll be signing on next Tuesday. God be the glory. And and we put our house on the market in May. Listen, we put our house on the market May 1st. 3 days later, our house was sold under contract.
Wow.
But guess what? We ain't got nowhere to go. We don't have no house to go to. We don't know what city to go to. And at first, we was just like, we're going to go to Memphis. We're going to go to Memphis. We want to go to Memphis, because we know we're going to have help there. So let's go to Memphis. I was like, we always want to go to Memphis. Let's go. Well, then, here go them naysayers. Why you want to go to Memphis? It's such a bad area. It's this, it's that, it's this, it's that, right? All right? So, it got in my head. I let it get in my ear. I let it get in my ear. So I said, well, what about Huntsville? It's nice. It's a growing city. What about Birmingham? It's nice. It's a growing city. So I started putting in job applications after job applications, right? No callbacks. I done got interviews, no callbacks. My husband, job application after job application, no callbacks. Then got interviews, then went to Huntsville, failed the test, something that he's phenomenal at. Crazy, he failed, right? Let me tell you something. God said, stop letting people get in your head. I had got so frustrated. I
That's
was
it.
just like, God, what are we gonna do? I can't hear you. Like it's too much. It's too loud. God said, exit it out, and I did. I filled out an application because I said, of course, I need to show more income in order to rent a house because we're gonna rent for 2 years.
Okay.
God said, exit out of that. So I exit out of that. I put in the application. Next day, I got the job.
Congratulations.
I've been putting in applications after applications for Huntsville, Birmingham, been getting job interviews, putting in for homes, and nothing. But God said, exit that noise out. You can't listen to it. Can't keep looking at the news, looking at how bad Memphis is, with the mayor trying to sit down with the gang members to try to come to some kind of agreement and stuff like that. And I was like, how people living there? I had the man who did our termite inspections, he came to me and he was just like, so where are you guys moving to? I said, man, we in between Birmingham, Huntsville, Memphis, wherever going to accept us. He said, well, I lived in Memphis for 17 years and I worked at FedEx. He was just like, I love Memphis. He said, I would have never came back here until his brother got sick. So he said, I love Memphis. My sister's there. She's a graphic designer, and he was like, I'm going to put you in contact with her. I said, okay, look at that. God bringing people to see your life. And I'm just like, okay, God, I heard you. Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you. So this is how I deal with it. When it gets too noisy to where I can't hear God, I gotta get on them knees. I gotta fast. I gotta pray. I gotta get back to God because I can no longer hear Him because I let the naysayers get in my ear. I let me listen to the naysayers, and then now I'm talking myself out of my blessings.
That's
You
it.
never know what blessing you can walk into. You have to block those naysayers out. You have to block, if they're not walking in this with you, they have no conversation to have with you. They have no opinion on anything that you're doing because this is not their walk. This is your walk. This is your walk with God. You have to walk this walk with God by yourself. You cannot take your husband. You can't take your wife. You can't take your kids. You can't take your mom. Can't take your dad. Can't take your friends. Can't take your friends. This is your walk with God. This is you and Him. So until you do that walk with God where you cannot hear them, you won't hear Him. So I had to sit there and literally block out the world, block out myself, and go back to God, get back to God. And I heard Him clear as day. Time to go. This is where you're supposed to be. Put that application in. Literally put the application in. Next day, got an email. You got the job. Oh. And I thank God because it's a position to where I can still run my business. And it looks good that I got a second income so I can get a property. We can get a property rented. And I'm like, God is just so amazing, to my people who are believers. God is just so amazing, but you have to block out the outside to get back to hearing God. Because if you let the outside get in, then your inside is going to get stirred up and confused. You cannot allow that. Once you
Right.
allow that, you can no longer hear God. So
That's
that's
true.
how I deal with the hard times. Because 1 week I can be like, oh, I only made this certain amount. The next week, well, I done paid a couple of bills off. So I mean, yes, it's a slow process, but it's progress, and I'm grateful for it.
And I applaud you, J1. And the thing about it, what you doing was, he said, "Seeking you shall find, knocking the door
Amen.
shall open." And the more you seek, the more you find. The more you knock, the door gonna open. But the thing about it is, you was consistent in this transition. You was consistent in making it happen. That's how it was with me. Cause like I said, all I did was put in an application. I did it for anywhere. Then, for you know it, Dallas County Sheriff Department emailed me. They were during the pandemic. Emailed me, and then I just went from there. It just, you have to be, like I said, block out that outside noise. Is it for everybody to understand? No. And I know at
No,
time it's that human nature of us. We get so excited. We want to share the news with everyone. And at the end of the day, we know that people are not happy. Really, they're not happy because they're not making moves. They're not making progress. They're not changing their life. If you still around people still murmuring, complaining about their situation, then if you're not willing to take the necessary steps in order to change your life around, you just gonna sit there and murmur and complain. And a lot of time, and I had this conversation with one of my coworkers, when we're in these type of jobs and stuff, it's so easy for us to get complacent.
Yes.
Because one, we don't have no goal in mind. Okay, I got a goal and I need to focus on my goal. Really, I came here because I have a goal to, I had set a goal for myself and I want to see that goal come to pass. Eventually, I'm going to move on to something else. But if we don't have no goal in mind, J1, we'll get so complacent. We get
Yep.
so caught up in the shuffle. We'll get so easily complacent that we miss out on what we came here for.
That's
We
right.
miss out on what we set out to do for our lives. And before we know it, we'll look back and then we'll be part of that crowd who's always murmuring and complaining. But I'm still coming here, yeah, because the money is good, but I'm still murmuring and complaining about
Mm-hmm.
my situation. And that's
That's
not
right.
living. When
Right.
Christ said, I came that you might have life and have life more abundantly. And that's what we're talking about, having a structured lifestyle. Because when we have structure in our life, ladies and gentlemen, that's supposed to bring on happiness. You want to be happy, so you did what you did for your happiness. You didn't do it well. You didn't go look for other people's opinion or look for validation for others. But you made up in your mind, like you said, block out that noise, got back to God's voice, and still stepped out. And you and your husband still stepped out on faith. But the thing about it is, y'all did it for the benefit of y'all family, and no one else. And I applaud that because you're moving there to be what they say, beat of your own drum, but making
Yes.
stuff happen. Because if you don't make anything happen in life, ladies and gentlemen, we just gonna miss out. They said the most wealthiest place in the world is the graveyard,
Amen. That's right.
and we take life for granted. We put off, well, like this morning, it could easy for me to put off the show. We put the show at 10, end up getting a little bit out 10:30. I say, you know what, the show still goes on. That
Yes.
it's a, you know what, we'll do it Tuesday, but we never know who needs to hear what we're talking about this morning.
That's right.
And we're blocking them from hearing something they probably need to hear along the side. So it's all about still getting stuff done, still putting in the work, because we know it's not about us, but it's all about being a vessel for God that He uses
That's
on this
right.
platform each and every week to bless others. Like I shared with the ministry the other day, a guy hit me up and said how much he's a regular watching the show, and he learned a lot from watching the show. So that
That's
that
right.
that puts a smile on my face, J1, when you get emails, you get
Yes.
DMs from people on Instagram, TikTok, because they constantly follow the show and they enjoy the show.
Amen.
So that means a lot to me when you hear these kudos from people like, man, and I don't even know this guy from Adam. So you never, like I say, you never know who watching you.
Right.
But it stirs up some in individuals when they watch the show and they
Yeah.
get blessed behind the show. What you want to say about that?
That's a listen. If we can just touch one person, that is enough. And you hear me? Because one thing about it, a message may not be for everybody, but a message is for somebody. It may not be for everybody, but something is for somebody. So, and it is good. It's a great feeling to hear, people who are watching the show, who are, commenting in a positive way, where, it's touching them. And, everybody might not like the show. Okay, if it ain't for you, then don't listen. If you don't like something being said or going on, turn it off. It's simple. It's easy. But truly, truly grateful that you brought me on as a co-host. I thank you again for that. It is a great experience. At first, I was just like a little nervous because I'm just like, I don't know. But, it is a great opportunity for me to get back to dealing with, still dealing with people, being able to talk to people, getting out of that comfort zone, because I get real, real comfortable in my little nook, and it's just like, I don't want to talk to nobody. My husband, he's the social butterfly. He's the one that I promise you, we go somewhere, he's gonna know about 5 people before we leave and get 3 numbers. And I'm like, we just went in there for 7 minutes. You already know somebody. He was like, yeah. I was like, when I say literally, he know more people in Mobile than I do, and I'm from here. He's from Boston, but he know
Okay.
more people in Mobile than I do because he's a social butterfly. So I'm grateful for the show because it's helping me in a way of getting back to talking to people and actually networking with people because a lot of people that come on the show, oh my gosh, they're so awesome, they're amazing, and it's great because I'd be trying to send them a friend request right after we get off the show, like, oh, let me send them a friend request, get to know them. You never know who you're gonna meet, so I'm truly, truly grateful for the show. I'm one of those that's just like I'm thankful, and I'm thankful for
And
those who are watching to keep the show going, keep it going.
right. And that's what it's all about. And like I
Yeah.
said, when you enter rooms, people already know who you are.
Yes.
I go to a room right now and people already know who I am because of the show. I ain't have
Yes.
to introduce myself. It's just that people know. Just like when you created the Bad Boys t-shirt and I seen the video you created, I was like, oh man, I like that's a nice shirt. You didn't say
Yeah.
anything about that shirt, but it was just the product of how it looked that caught people eye to buy it because of
Yes.
how you presented it. And that's what it's all about. It's all about you ain't gotta say anything. People just know.
Yes.
And if you're in the room, they just know. I see you on the show. Oh, I see you on the show. Oh, wow, the show. Because people just know. And like I said, you just never know who watching you. And
Yes.
if that one somebody get touched and change their life, that's what it's all about. It's all about changing lives and help changing lives. And we're constantly growing each and every moment, of course. We are working the making. I commit. I'm a work in the making, but it's a enjoyable thing. I heard it coming yesterday during the Mavs and Boston game, and they were talking about Luca, and they was about Luca 25 years old, and he's still a work in the making. But I heard JJ Reddy said I'm about to be 40 years old, and I'm still a work in the making. That
That's
just
right.
show you just because age don't mean anything. We're still a work in the making. We
Yeah.
still pruning in our lives. I say that the trial by fire. We still being
There you go.
pruned constantly. We still being polished constantly. We still being broken down to rebuild back up constantly on a regular basis by God, of course, because we all
Yeah.
about want to be better. I know I want to be a better man. I know you want to be a better woman. I know you want to be a better
Yes.
wife, a better mother, a
Yes.
better business person. And we're constantly working each and every morning to get better, and get better. Like the Bible say, go from glory to glory to glory. It's only up from here. Now
Amen.
we're not going to go backwards because if you go back, you going you would say if you look back, you're gonna go back. But I
Yep.
heard something very profound too, Jay, one other day. And people may think it's weird, but it's not weird. Somebody said it's always good to burn bridges. I'm not talking about in a bad way,
Mhm.
but that person was saying when you burn bridges, it will force you to grow up.
Yes. Yes.
It will force you to buckle down. It will force you to get urgent about yourself
Yes.
because you get the point, okay, I burnt this bridge, so I don't have to go back. I have to prove it to myself that I can make it, I can achieve. And it will cost you to grow up. And it's all about making moves in life. You can't be
Yes.
stagnant for the rest of your life. You have to get up and move forward. If it take you moving out of town and starting fresh and starting new, and think about it, you're going to a place you don't know anybody. Same thing here, don't know anybody, but it's it's the truth on the inside of you gonna cause you to kick it up a notch. It's gonna cause you to
Yes.
say, you know what? Yeah, just me and my husband, we got each other's back. We don't have family or nobody else here, but we have each other's back. So it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost that what's say instinct to kick in. Well, you know what? We gonna make it. We're not gonna look back, and we're gonna get well established here. This is what we said. This is what we gonna sit here, and to really make things happen. This is your life, and you make stuff happen for your life. It's not for everybody.
Right.
We want everybody to be excited for us, to attend. But at the end of the day, I'm still gonna make it. You still gonna make it. You still got your goals in place, and how everything just comes together, and everything will fall right in place. And I'm not just talking
Yes.
about it. I'm saying this from experience. I know. Like I said,
Yes.
when I moved here, I didn't know anybody here, but everything fell in place for me. My my townhouse was lined up for me. The money was lined up for me because you think about it, once you leave the shared apartment, you're gonna leave a lot of money because of your vacation and your comfort and all the other
Mhm.
stuff. So that came together. So sky's the limit. I tell anybody, once you make up in your mind to step out, everything else gonna fall in place for you. All that time I'm just waiting on God, I'm waiting on God. God
Baby,
is
you gonna be
waiting on you.
waiting. Mhm.
But people only say that they think they saying it's good, but it's not good because how can you say I'm waiting on God when people in the Bible were people that move by action?
Yes. What's that story? Come on, listen. I know some of the Bible stories, but I gotta get back in my word. Listen, so it's the story with the man. Where was he at the fountain? And he
Mm-hmm.
stayed there and stayed there and stayed there until he got up, and that's when God did what he was gonna do.
Right,
But it's just you have to make that move. You can't just stay there.
right.
You keep on staying there, you're gonna waddle right in it, and you're gonna get stuck in it. But once you make that move, and God see, okay, okay, they done made this move. Let me make the next one. They done
Mm-hmm.
make them. Let me make the next one. You can't stay there. Man, see, that's the thing. We get so complacent. We get comfortable. Sometimes you got to get uncomfortable, baby, to do what you need to do. You got to get uncomfortable to become that successfulness that you seek. You got to get uncomfortable because we're in your comfort place. You're not gonna step out on faith because you're too comfortable.
Right.
You got to get uncomfortable. You got to get uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is aggravating, but you got to get uncomfortable for that next step. That next level, you got to get a little uncomfortable for it. You got
You
to get a
got
little
to.
uncomfortable.
You got to, and there's no excuses. You just think about it. I just got off work this morning at 6:30 this morning. I got to go back to work tonight at 10. But the show, but I'm just saying, but the show still goes on because at
Yes,
the end of the day, it's all about you. If you want to be successful, you want to be dominant, you want to have these things you want to have. Like you said, Jay, when you have to get out your comfort zone.
yes,
You, we can't. We make so many excuses, and they made excuses in the Bible when Jesus called them for. Oh, I got to go do this. I got to go do that.
yes,
But we miss out on these great opportunities because once again, that ego kick in. Oh, you got to go to work tonight. Oh, you got to do this. Oh, you got to do that. And then before we know it, we'll miss the opportunity. We'll miss the mark.
yes,
And then we hate ourselves like, dang, why I missed the opportunity for? We have, in other words, you have to make things happen for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You have to.
yes.
Like I said, we about to ready to go into July before we know it. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
knocking on the door.
7 months, it's knocking on the door. And we had to after I said, are we seeing progress? Or are we just whining, murmuring, complaining, just talking about it, not being about it? It's just like if you want to lose weight, you got to start making the necessary changes to lose weight.
Yes,
You want to change your financial situation, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna have to get out there and change your
exactly.
financial situation. It's not gonna come out the sky.
No, it's not.
If God intended for everything to come out of the sky, He would have made like this at the beginning of time. Of course, He did not make it like that, but He gives a bit like in Deuteronomy 8:18. The Bible said that God give us the power to get wealth. They may establish a covenant. He didn't say I'm gonna give you wealth. He said I
Yes,
give you the power to get wealth. He gives you the mindset. He gives you the ability. He
yes,
gives you these ideas that can change your financial situation around if you
yes.
apply yourself. Everything in life we have to apply. So I have to apply myself. It's like we want this show to be successful. I have to apply myself on a regular basis so these shows can be successful.
That's right.
And big shout out to the 60,000 views that we got just by this show. But like I said, but we want to get better every each and every moment. We want to make sure these shows are successful. But most important, we want to
Yes,
make sure these shows are impactful. That individual or get anything like these shows that they can go back and listen to. Oh man, I got something out of that. Oh man, changed my life. But being well established and keep going, staying consistent. And that's what we play. Like, look at Michael Jordan. We know Mike Jordan's the GOAT of basketball, but I respect Jay One about his work ethic, his
Yeah.
drive to succeed. Think about it. That competitive nature came when he was in high school. Remember, he was cut from his high school basketball team.
Yep.
But do you think that stopped Jordan from becoming who he is today in our generation? Even though we grew up and watched him play, and his shoes still sell to this day. Think about it. What if Jordan would have stopped when he got cut from his basketball team in high school? And you got to think about it in life. We can have a no J1. Do you know that no could just destroy someone's life that they just give up?
Yep. That's right.
But you
But I
got to
always say,
go
people
ahead.
say that no is an opportunity for a yes.
Yeah, because you know we're gonna say, I'm gonna make you. We're gonna say what they say, make you. But you know what? I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna punish you for missing out this opportunity in a good way. I'm gonna punish you instead of you saying no. I'm gonna show you that could have been a yes, and then you look back, it's like, damn. I thought they was crazy, but damn, they knew exactly what they was doing the whole time.
Mhm. That's right. That's right. Right. Right.
And big shout out on the and failures are lessons and not lost opportunities. That's
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 right.
it. That's it.
That's
So
right.
that's on the Twitch side. So big shout out on our view and ours on the Twitch side of things. So that's what's up right there. Hey, and that's it. That's what it's all about. Hey, accepting these opportunities, making the best out of them. But most
Yes.
important, it's all about winning. I want to see you win each and every moment. This is your time. I almost say time. This is your life. You know, man,
Yes.
you have a very unique life. You could be whoever you create the life that you want. It starts in the mindset. You create the life you want. We talk about structure, and when I looked up the thing about structure, well, anyway, I was doing something. The most important thing it says that prioritize self care and engage in activities that bring happiness. Self care
Definitely self care. Let me tell you
and
about self
engage in
care
activities. Go ahead.
that brings happiness. So self care, and that's what a lot of us, well, a lot of people, a lot of us, we fall back into not caring about us, and we don't realize you got to have self care first before you care or love anything else. It's you have to self love, self care. You got to take care of you. You have to. You have to learn to take care of you. Learn to love you, and I promise you that care is gonna come behind it. But that keep yourself involved in anything that just brings you joy or happiness. Because let me tell you something. Once negativity get the knocking and that little crack open up, once negativity come in, it's like it overtakes all of that happiness. You cannot dwell in it. You can't play in it. You can't dib a dab in negativity because negativity it can follow you. So when you said get into that happiness, hey, get into the happiness. Tap on into it. Tap on into that happiness and stay there. You already know so and so over here negative. What you going to talking to them for? You know, if you go to this place, it's gonna trigger something, and it's gonna cause you, go into this sad place, or it go into this angry place. What you going over there for then? What you playing with it for? Stay in your happy place. Stay. Once you find your happy place, stay there. Don't let nobody take you from it. Don't let nobody talk you out of it. And always care for you. Take care of you first. Take care of you mentally. Take care of you physically. Take care of you health wise. Take care of you first. If you see this ain't doing you no good, what you keep playing with it for? If you keep sticking a fork into a socket, what you think gonna happen? Stop playing with it. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Stay in your happiness. Stay in your happy place. You
We
find
got
it,
to
get
also
there,
even big
stay out.
and stay there. I also give a big shout out to my coworker who's watching us this morning. So big shout out to our coworker that's watching us this morning as well. That's in the comment section. And that's what it's all about, Jay. When like I said, the happiness and stay there. And like he said, big shot. He said, you can never help others unless you help yourself. That's true.
That's
Hey,
right. That's
That's
right.
true. And that is
I
true. I
can't tell
agree.
you how to get a house if I'm homeless. What?
Hey,
You homeless?
hey,
Okay.
hey, that's it. Hey, that's it, man. So that's what it is. And I'm excited about this time. Once you make in your mind, hey, be happy, be yourself. Don't be a slave to other people's opinion. Because people gonna talk about you. They're gonna talk about whether you're doing
Yes.
bad or good.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it's all about knowing who you are,
Yes.
knowing what you set out to do, what you set out to accomplish for your life. We all have our own
Yes.
individual lives, but we're gonna make the best out of our life, and we're gonna love the hell out of our life, and we're
Yes.
gonna be more successful than ever. And it start with their mindset. Just because they're not happy, they choose not to be happy, but you be happy.
That's right.
You do the things you set out to do. You
That's
said to do this
right.
thing you said I come. That we talking about having that structure, having that goal in mind. What's that goal you have in mind that keeps you excited? That's listeners this morning. What's that
Yes.
goal in mind that keeps you going? What is that keep you hustling, keep you grinding nonstop? And yeah, I realize too, Jay, one of the people who always murmuring complaining are the ones who don't have no vision in life. The scripture
That you
tells
all know
us,
vision.
without a vision, the people perish.
That's right.
So you have get that vision about what you want to do, how you want to come. You people say affirmations. You speak life over yourself. The Bible said death and life is in the power that is in the tongue. So you gotta be mindful of the things you speak over yourself, which you're entertaining, what you put in. You know what I'm saying? Let's break these barriers. Let's break these limitations. This is your life. And I know we're not. I know we're not. We know we're pressed for time. I know we got to get off this thing. I know we got this great day ahead of us. I know you got some things you got to do and stuff like that. Of course. So, J1, go ahead and plug in your information. How can individuals follow you and support the work that you're doing outside social media?
Okay, first I want to say, yay, thank you for this morning. It's a great show. And you that's watching, you right there. You stay focused. Stay focused. If you have to get to yourself, if you have to stay to yourself for a few days, few hours, whatever you need to do, stay focused. Get back on track. Do what you need to do. Block out the world. The world ain't going on this route with you, so you can't take them with you. Stay away from negative people. You know this person is stagnant. Let me tell you something. Birds of a feather flock together. That's a true statement. True statement. So if you see these people that you're around, they're not going anywhere. They're right here and you trying to get here, what you down here with them for? Go on, get up here. If you got to burn them bridges, burn them. You got to cut ties, cut ties. Do what you need to do for you to get to where you need to be. Walk this walk with you and God, and that's it. Again, I'm Chastity Lobos on Facebook. You can also find my business page at Graceful Affirmations. On TikTok, you can find me at dot JBOS dot JBOS. That's dot JBOS. Cannot wait to see you guys again. Well, talk to you guys again. I can't see y'all. We'll see you guys again on Tuesday for another great talk. Thank you all for joining us today. Misery does love
Yes.
company. Yes.
Oh yeah, you know
Facts on that one.
it. Hey, and that's true. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we signing off. Man, y'all enjoy your day. Of course, this is Father's Day weekend, so a happy Father's Day to all the fathers around the world. Don't want to forget about y'all. Remember, man, this is your life. I don't want to say. I'm not gonna say see. I'm not gonna say time. This is your life because we supposed to be successful on a constant basis. Get a goal in mind. Whatever you want to set out to do, sky's the limit. I'm talking to myself as well. Sky's the limit. Whatever you want to set out to do, you can do it. Think about it. You could live wherever you want to live. You could drive whatever you want to drive. You can make the money that you want to make. You could do it. Take the limits off. Don't listen to other people what they say because they don't have anything going on in their life. They miserable. Their life sucks. That's why.
Yes.
But you make your life extraordinary. You live an extraordinary life. I'm working on living an extraordinary life. I know J1 is working on living an extraordinary life. That a
Yes.
life that you'll be proud of. And you once it's all said and done, you say, hey, I did it. So we out this thing. So man, y'all have a great, great weekend. And me and J1 will see y'all Tuesday night here on the Walking This Way Impact Wars podcast. Big shout out to Patricia, she gonna be with us this coming Tuesday night. Awesome woman. I met her at the DFW Entrepreneur networking event last Saturday. So she's gonna be on here with us. She said she loved to talk. So we're looking forward to having a great conversation with her. So me and Jay went out of this thing, man. Y'all had a great weekend. Me and Jay will see you Tuesday night, 7 p.m. here on the Walking This Way Impact Voice Podcast. Peace, everybody.
Bye.